So I want to just record today's video to talk about my biggest failure in terms of a product. Now, strangely enough, this product was actually a success, but it was also a failure. And you might be wondering, well, how can that be, right? Okay, let's rewind. It was 2020 during COVID, and I was trying a different business model because we always try different business models. That's what we're like. We're entrepreneurs. We like to try different things, right? So my good friend introduced me to it, and I was like, this sounds interesting, right? Now, the model you might be wondering is drop shipping. Now, drop shipping is the art of basically putting for sale something that you don't own, you physically do not have, right? And when it sells, you buy it for less than you sold it for, and ideally you keep the difference, right? In principle, a great model, and I'm sure there's plenty of people making a lot of money with it, right? But I actually gave it a try, and I had some success. Don't get me wrong. I had like a couple of days where I done, I think $600, $700. So like it wasn't bad, right? And in fact, I probably could still make plenty of money at it if I went at it. And I might use it again, right? But let me just rewind and how I used it. So I started doing my research, and my research was primarily using Google shopping ads, right? That's the real estate I was targeting because that's where I was going to put my product, right? So I was using Google Trends to figure out like what products are in good demand. And one of the products I uncovered, and this is strange because like I would never buy this product, was cat playpens. Yes, they do exist and there is quite a demand for them, particularly in the US. So I uncovered this and I said, okay, I'm going to build my own cat playpen, right? So I started building the cat playpen and I went and created like the landing page, right? So for my whole cat playpen experience, right? I took pictures from other people's cat playpens. You can't do that, like, but I did anyway. I didn't realize at the time. I took the pictures from other people's cat playpen sites. I put them onto mine. I called it after my brand's name, and I put it up on a Shopify store, right? I went to Google and I started running ads, running traffic to the cat playpen, and lo and behold, I made sales. Now, that's great. But it ended up like each sale was costing me about $30 on Google advertisement costs. And I was only making $50 in profit, right? But sometimes I would end up spending more than, I'd spend, you know, $40. And, the costs weren't fixed. So they were moving up and down, right? And some days, like I was making no money because I'd spent more on PPC than I was charging than the price I was buying it at. If you catch my drift, right? And there was a lot of other problems as well because what I discovered was like sometimes I'd sell the product and it wouldn't be in stock with the supplier on Amazon. Sometimes people would give out because it is Amazon that was fulfilling it. Other people would give out because maybe they want to return it or something. And there's just all these things, right? And I was like, okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go to China and I'm going to private label this. I'm going to get my own cat playpen built. So that's exactly what I did. But I wanted my cat playpen to be better than everyone else's cat playpen on the market. So I said I'm going to add in some extra tunnels and it's just going to be a better offer overall. And I would be able to, have a landed cost lower than what I was paying for the product. So I think my landed cost, let's say hypothetically, was about $25. Whereas when I was buying it on Amazon, I was paying $50. So that left me a lot more margin, which meant that even though I was spending $40 to acquire a customer, I was selling it at 99. I was making a profit all day long, right? So this is brilliant. And actually, even I'm talking to myself now, I'm like, you know what? It's a good business model. Anyway, that was grand. Ordered the product, spent probably $13,000, something like that, between everything, because ordered the cat playpen, ordered the tunnels, ordered the cat playpen and tunnels. Like did a big order, right? The product arrived, went into Amazon, and it started selling. It started selling, and I was delighted. I didn't even get time to turn on the Google shopping ads to run traffic to my landing page. I was like, this product is selling, brilliant. Then returns started occurring, right? And I was like, what? Or like, why are people returning this? Like, this is a good product. We're getting negative reviews as well. It turns out one of our key differentiators, right? And which is always really important to really try and make your product stand out, just to make it better than the competition. One of our key differentiators was that we had a second tunnel and these tunnels could all like join together, right? Now, our supplier because they custom made it, had assured us that there would be zips on all these tunnel joints, right? But it turns out the zips were, I think, the same, or like you tied them together and all these different things, right? Like literally, you couldn't zip it together the way we want, right? They're like, say, two male zips instead of a male and female to join together. So it ended up ultimately that cats were escaping from the Gap playpen, right? And people started returning them, and it was really, really negative. And in the end, our listing tanked. We got negative reviews, and whilst they all sold out, we lost, a couple of $1,000s in terms of bad stock, in terms of product that just didn't work out, that should have worked out. But I learned something from that experience, and really what I learned is to like never take a supplier's word for it, just to triple and double check exactly what you're getting, right? Um, I've actually even gone so far as to say always get someone in China just to check out the quality of the product before it leaves the factory. This was a misunderstanding. Like, they assured me this was the way it was. I think this is the way she actually thought it was, but in reality, it wasn't like that. But if we had someone going in and inspecting the goods, they would have picked that up before it even left China and went to the US. It could have been addressed, and we could be still selling that product today. So I believe it's worthy. I believe it's worthwhile to invest in an inspection of the goods before they leave China, especially for the first order. Because once you build a relationship with a supplier, like it's generally the same thing over and over again, and they work really hard to ensure the quality. Costings for that inspection, $80, $100 up to $250, $300, in around that ballpark. And if you're doing it more consistently and more regularly, you can just maybe agree a fixed price for the regular inspection. But that therein, folks, is the product that was my biggest failure, but also it was actually a success because there was demand. It sold and it should have been profitable, but I made a mistake, and alas, it didn't work out. But that's the thing about products. There's so many things that I suppose could go wrong, that once you start learning this process, learning this game, you start seeing and experiencing more of these things, and then you end up avoiding them and avoiding them and avoiding them, to the point where if you get those quality inspections before the goods ever leave China, you eliminate 90% of your problems. Like, packaging can be a big part of the problem as well if it's a heavy good. Like, I've had experience in the past whereby the product is great, but the carton has let us down. Okay, things like that, and that's where these inspections come in really, really handy. So that's, I probably can leave you with that, but hope you enjoyed the story. And there's always products out there, so don't be fretting. You'll find your next product. All right, folks, if you want to do more of this, you want to hear more of my stories, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment down below if you have any questions. And if you want to work with me or just learn about ways you can work with me, just go to the link in the bio or in the video description, and you'll see some cool ways we can connect. All right, take care and chat you soon.